My name is Sophie Darlington.
I'm Justine Evans.
Chloe Sarosh.
Faith Mosambi.
My name is Erin Rainey. I'm a wildlife cinematographer on this series.
So let's see the tattoo. Show us what you have.
A bear, salmon, a wolf with a fish, and a raven. And you can see the tattoo actually evolving in the behind the scenes. It starts small and then gets bigger throughout the series. A day in the life is a bit different with what animal you're filming.
An animal that gave me problems, yeah, elephants. I tell you what, don't try and make an elephant do. You heard that saying, you can bring a horse to water? Same goes for elephants, as it turns out.
There were so many obstacles. Not only was there the COVID pandemic, but then civil war in the Tigray region.
I was in the car some days, and other days I was hiking out in Alaska trying to find our mom and cubs. And we had this really magic moment where we had a mom and a baby come right up to us and just spend time in beautiful golden light with us. It was the best first day.
I'm Vanessa Berlowitz and I was the executive producer on Queens, which meant that I was there at the beginning of the idea and selling that to National Geographic. And then over the course of the 4 years that it took to make it, recruited the team and worked alongside them as we developed shooting scripts and then went out and shot all the stories and then edited it. And then finally, the highlight, which was going to have Angela Bassett narrate our show. We were just delighted when she came on board, and she was an amazing executive producer working alongside us, co-producing it with us. And I think the reason that she wanted to do it is it aligns with all her values in terms of empowering female talent and diverse talent.
A new hero is rising, resilient, fierce, and female.
This is not only female-led in front of the camera about these amazing leaders in nature, but it's also female-led behind the camera, along with all the incredible male allies we got to work with.
Sophie and I's job at the beginning was to sort of find talented camera women who we could select to come along and be mentored. And that involved finding people who were also not necessarily from the UK or the States, but from the countries where we go and film.
We had young mums, single mums, often women that would have left their career because, it just went over a cliff when they wanted to have kids. So we kind of mixed and matched and paired people and trained people. And I always say there were some days where you see people holding a baby and the other person's on the phone and then the baby gets swapped over. So it was unlike any other production I've ever worked on.
There are a lot of really keen, amazing, talented women out there. And so it was just isolating the ones that we can nurture. And we came up with a fine bunch.
As a director of photography, it's about setting the look and the feel and working with the incredible team of cinematographers that we have across the series to make sure that we all bring home what is, without doubt, the best series I've ever worked on.
Queens is so special because we got to go to some amazing places and film some amazing stories, but what we did was we purposely turned our heads away from the big fights and the hunts and the things that natural history usually focuses on, and purposefully turned to look at the nuanced behaviour of the females and their leadership. And so every day there was a new story. One of my personal favourites is the second episode, the bonobos, and the story of this young female, Zoe, as she goes out into the world on her own and finds her friends and her tribe and her people. I think that really speaks to me.
The show I produced is the 7th one, Behind the Queens. Obviously, it's my favorite. Behind the Queens is essentially the heart and soul of the Queen's journey, because we shine a spotlight on the female rangers and this other conservation group that has a sanctuary of bonobos, which are found in the Democratic Republic of Congo. They're so incredible because they're regular women, and particularly Maasai women. And the Maasai tribe is one of the indigenous tribes in Kenya. And their society is they've got very strict gender roles. So the fact that these women are rangers, they're working in what's typically regarded as a masculine discipline or field is incredible.
My name is Jen Guyton, and I shot the March cover story for National Geographic magazine on spotted hyenas that's tied into the Queens series. I spent 6 weeks in the field in Kenya following around spotted hyenas and taking photos of them. A lot of it I shot in infrared, which gave us a really intimate view into their nocturnal lives. There are huge challenges with shooting in infrared. I couldn't see anything that was happening except what was on the back of my camera. The infrared lights are totally invisible to human eyes and to hyena eyes, which is what made it perfect for this job, but it meant that I really just couldn't see the scene at all, and I had to go entirely based off of what was on the back of my camera. Everything about hyenas fascinates me. Something that people don't really know is that they're not just, these kind of cowardly scavengers that they're depicted as. They're actually incredibly intelligent, incredibly social, loving mothers, and there's this much softer side to them that people just don't really know, and that was what I was looking to bring out in the magazine story.
My name is Morgan Kibbe, and I am the composer of Queens. This is my first time working within this genre as a composer. It's a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity for me, I've come to realize. To be given the freedom to really be myself as an artist and to try things that aren't necessarily expected within the genre. I actually started each episode by kind of watching through once on my own, just to get a lay of the land mentally. And then I would speak with Chloe, and we would discuss kind of textures that I thought might be interesting. I would kind of propose a palette for her, and then she would just let me run with it. The Tiny Queens episode was really an opportunity for me to dig into synthesis and synthesizers. And because the footage is just so incredibly otherworldly and sci-fi, for me, just from my musical background, it pings a lot of 70s sci-fi soundtracks, Tangerine Dream, et cetera, et cetera. I really got to dig in with each insect. I got to work on sound specifically. It's like, ooh, is that going to be a little bit sharper? Is it going to be deeper? Is it going to be growly? Is it going to be smooth? So that was a really fun episode for me to dig into texture-wise on the synths.